Well, good morning. I'm, I'm sitting out here this morning under the floodlights. Let me get up here. Might be able. Uh, I just wondered how many people would be up this time of the day. Um, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to have a cup of coffee. I think I'll get me a cup over here. Oh yeah. Kind of weird looking to say the least, but at least the signal's working. There's the old days when I used to be with the rocket team. Rocket man. There's nothing like waking up with Folgers in your cup. Folgers in your cup. I'm sitting here on the back deck. I think you can see my little windmill over there. That lets me know there's a tornado coming. Look at the color of the leaves. The leaves have already. Oh my God, there's some mosquitoes out here like you won't believe. let me let me move over this way a little bit. There's a big old spot. Maybe I can see me here. There ain't nobody here anyhow, so I guess everybody's gone to bed. I never sleep. I've never been one to need any sleep. I uh, I do need coffee. Hello, somebody said, who's that? Said hello. Oh my God, there's that dear sweet lady. I think she's today is probably in Hong Kong. Let me get that spot off my nose there. I'm I'm sitting out here before the sun comes up here in Alabama, and thought I'd make content. Boy, I got spots. Let me see. Yeah, today's Sunday here too. It's I think it's about I don't know, 5:30, something like that. Maybe I don't no idea. I'm not into time. um, yeah, the sun will be up probably. I'm thinking probably. There's Dave. Look at that. Good morning, Dave. Miss EB is in here. Um, Dave, we're just sitting out here on the back porch, on the back deck. You can see the windmill right back here. It ain't turning, but the leaves are turning. You can see the color of the leaves. We had a really good uh, rainstorm yesterday, and everything's pretty wet out there. I mean, there's water everywhere, but Monday, Labor Day, is going to be wet. And oh, EB, Miss EB, N4DIR, right there. I'm a government licensed amateur radio operator. They gave me those call letters. I got those. Well, I got those call letters there. I got them in 2006. But for 28 years, I was N7 DIR. See, they give you, see, four. You see the four right there. Four is for Region 4. That'd be all of the southeastern United States. Region 7 is Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona. California is 6. It has its own little zone down there, and but that's what the N4 stand for. So when I got a chair in America, they wanted me to be a volunteer examiner to give tests for other amateur operators. I had to change my call, and I did. I'm hoping my I'm hoping my signal's staying good. Look here, look right here. They gave me this cup. I used to be assigned to Cocoa, Florida. We had a little project down there. You might have heard of it. It was called the Moon Buggy, and our team, we loaded the moon buggy up on the shuttle, and the moon buggy, I believe I think the moon buggy went up on the shuttle. It might have been a Saturn. I don't remember. That was back in the early '70s. I'm an old man. So Dave, are you having? Let me see. This is your time. If it's 5:30 here, 5:30 winding down, and mine just getting started. Oh hell! See, I saw the signal. The signal. I may be going on and off. Hey, I live out in the woods. Who's that right there? Oh, Kimmy to go. Good morning. I told you I'd. Oh, it's evening. Okay. Um, I told you I would be on here in a few minutes. It took me a little while to get it all wound up. Well, I think Miss EB, she's probably going live over there in Hong Kong. And oh, look at there! There's the gentleman. There's the. I can always recognize the tuxedo. Good morning. Well, I bet you never thought you'd be waking up to old Mac, having a cup of coffee with old Mac. Oh my gosh, there's so many nice people in there. I told Angelique, I said, you go in there and pour me a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna go live. And she said, they won't be nobody on there this time of the day. I said, the world stays alive. When we're sleeping, they're wide open. And so I said, yep, there are gonna be some people in here. Or the local people, Motorbomb, old Ray Gregory, Ray, and Recycle Hooligan, and T-Bone, and Ruby, riding on Ruby, and oh, see, look at the old memories. It's still working. They're all asleep. They live over on the East Coast, and they're all asleep. Yeah, it's so nice. I'm a ham operator. I've got cards in there from every place in the world. One of my favorite places that I got a chance to work was Oman. Oh, look, you're right there. Even Motorbomb is up. Waking up with a cup of old Mac. Come on up here, Dean. I'll get you a cup of old Mac here. I hope you, let's see if we see what's inside the cup. I don't even know where the camera is at. Oh, there it is right there. Cream. Cream in my coffee. Oh, man. Uh, Not everybody likes it that way, but I guess it's a matter of preference, but that's just the way I love it. I'm holding the camera in my hand, and you can probably see the nose hair. So that's pretty close. It should be way back here, but I don't have no way. I can't stretch my arms. My arms are only 3 feet long, so I'm kind of like an orangutan. I ain't an orangutan. I ain't kidding you. I have long arms. Uh, I'm 6'2", and well, I may be a little less than that now because I'm 84 and I'm starting to shrink a little bit. All that big belly of mine is compressing my vertebrae on my spine and making me shorter. Anyhow, they say, I think the theory is if you're oh, let me see who that is right there. Okay, are you in your yes. Oh, you can hear the animals yell. Oh, look at what right here. You might like this. You might like this right here. Look. Well, yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the. Where's? Oh, see, you can see those beautiful pink flowers. See, I don't know how to turn the camera, but anyhow, we got this is a lot of flowers. Let me see if I can get over a little closer. Here we go. A little closer. There we go. Look at this is for you fine folks out there. Old Mac is out in the garden. Can you hear the cat? Oh, where's the cat at? I've got a I've got a beautiful cat. If she comes up here, I want you to see my cat. Her name is Panther, big and black, and it's an awesome animal. I hear it meowing out there. Oh yeah, this is my hand call her Dean in for DRR, and I was telling EB there, Miss EB, that that's my government license. I got them 48 years ago. I was just a child. Oh me, people's in here today. Man, I need all the love in the world. I tell you, yeah, being a ham operator, I got a chance to meet a lot of people around the world. There was a bunch of Australians. They worked for a news service. They were television personalities down in Sydney, Australia, and every year they came to America, and we entertained them at our place in Washington, and they come up and spent 2 weeks with us, and we showed them all everything could be seen in Washington, and it was it was a really a great experience. They brought when they came over, they brought tons of video stuff. They um, basically put on I mean, just come and put on a great show. I hear my cat getting closer. Come on, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on. I want the old boy to come up here. He's old. He's 15 years old, but he's like me. He's one of them tough old cats. Uh, you know, uh, we we lived in a little town called Blossburg, and Blossburg is in Jefferson County. For any of those that looks at this kind of stuff up on Google Earth, um, Blossburg is in Jefferson County, and in our house where we live right next to the railroad tracks, and oh, you can hear my cat. I'm hoping you can hear the uh, and if I forget anybody when I'm doing my best to try to read the little writing over there, and I can see it. I got the phone in my hand so I can see it. The other day I couldn't see what everybody was saying because it was on a tripod. Um, anyhow, um, we had a coal mines in our backyard, and we could go we could go into the coal mines, and I have to agree, Dave, it was them guys. Well, anytime you got a mixture like Dean had on last night, Motorbomb, he had anytime you got old sick bastard and Ray and that fine collection of folks he had in there. I can't compete with them. I can't stay. Here's what happened. They have a subject. They'll have a subject, and maybe they're talking about the amount of videos or whatever. And the time I type my little response, an answer, they're on to another subject. There's such a delay that I can't keep up with them because I don't have any service out here. And what I'm doing, I'm sitting out here outdoors, right below my 50-foot tower. There's a 50-foot tower right above my head there. And anyhow, we're going to do the best we can do with what we got to work with. It's not going to make or break us here. They say the first sign of insanity is a lot of laughing. You notice that? I laugh a lot. Look at them eyes. You can tell. You can tell I'm demented. uh, Anyhow, I was saying, our house down in Blossburg, we had a coal mines in the backyard, and um, yeah, we had a coal mines in the backyard, and um, I think we're all a little bit mad in some ways. There's a fine line, they say. I took a psychology class. Oh God, maybe 1970. Uh, you know, mines, and all of us kids, we'd play hide and go seek in the mines. And so one time, my dad worked at mines, and he told me about a room where he used to hide blasting caps, and he told me how to get there. So I knew how to read all the signposts inside the mines. There are markers on the beams overhead. So I followed what he had told me. I was under 12 years old, and so anyhow, I must have been maybe 6 or 7 because I went my first 5 years of school down there in Blossburg. Uh, Anyhow, I went and found this place, and sure enough, like he described, there was a little shelf, and I was just big enough I could crawl up, and I got up on that shelf, and here they come a looking, they're searching, hide and go seek, and well, what happened there is I went to sleep, and when I woke up, they're afraid to go tell my mama that Jerry Mack is missing. I didn't become Mack until I was an adult. My first 20 years, I was Jerry, not Gerald, Jerry. I come out of the mines, and it was pitch black dark. When I come out of the mines, I already got nighttime. And I heard my mama, oh, look right over here. If I can turn it right over here. Can you see my panther? See my panther right? Which way is the camera? Here, kid. Here, kid. Come on. Here, kid. Come on, baby. Come on, kid. Well, he doesn't want to come over right now, but he'll come over. Come on, baby. Anyhow, I heard my mother was calling my name up into the holler. We living in Alabama. They call them hollers, and she was shouting my name. Anytime she called you by both names, Jerry Mack. My middle name is Mack. And anytime they call you by both names, Jerry, you'd better get your butt on down to the house in a hurry. Oh, hell, when I got down there, first thing she did is hug me and kiss me and then whoop my ass. it was, it was just the way things were in those days. There was a price to be paid for everything, and had everybody in the neighborhood searching. They'd been all up in the mines, and that mines, if you went in, let me see, please go on about, okay, and that mines, if you went in, After you went back 3 miles or so, you'd go back in there about 3 miles. It started to go down in what they call a slope, and you'd go down that slope for a long ways, and then there was a main heading that was 12 foot tall inside there. And if you went to the left, you went to Alden, Alabama, which is 7 miles away. Or if you went to the right, you went to Brookside. And if you went towards Brookside, halfway there was an intersection that you wanted to try to avoid because at the end of that intersection, there was working crews working the mines, and you might come up on them while they're shooting dynamite and it would kill you. So anyhow, I'm going out through there. I decided to make it to Brookside. I got over and I took that wrong turn and ended up in a place called Daisy City. And when I came out in the mine, there was men working. There was mules down in there pulling the coal cars around, and they use mining mules. They call them little short-legged mules that works in the mines. And anyhow, oh, the guy said, "Where in the hell did you come from?" I said, "Over in Blossburg." So they said, "You better get out here because if that foreman catches you in here, he'll call the sheriff." So uh, we got out, come out in Daisy City, and oh my gosh, long ways because you got a river you got to cross. And when the river was up over its banks, you couldn't swim across it, so you had to find yourself a bridge across it, and sometimes that took a long time. But anyhow, they had sent men up in the mine searching for me, and I was laying up in there asleep. Oh boy, I tell you, my mom, she was happy I was alive. Then she had to go run up in the mines and send men up in there and have them tell them they found me. And I was nothing but trouble. I ain't kidding you. My mama had 10, 10 children, and times was just not, well, they times are really rough, but we did the best we could to survive. We knew everything about surviving. Oh my God, they were such wonderful things. You know how most of the Catholic people, they call it Fishy Friday. They have fish on Friday. The Catholics, well, traditionally, I have to change hands again. Um, my mama, she wasn't Catholic, so she fixed on Friday. We had tripe. How many people? How many people? Let me see a show of hands. How many people know what tripe is? Tripe. It's a food. It's a meat. It's a product that you eat. It's called tripe. 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 I don't see anybody raising their hand. Come on. Oh, what? Oh, Kimmy to go. She doesn't know. Vietnamese restaurant. Oh, I, I have eaten Thai tripe in Orlando, Florida. We went to a Thai restaurant and they had fried tripe. That's the way my mama fixed it. She would bread it. She'd put her batter and stuff, and she'd fry it. Oh my God, we'd eat that stuff. It's cow stomach. Uh, okay. It's cow stomachs and yeah, stomach lining. There you go. Dave knows what it is too. But we'd eat that tripe, and my favorite thing my mother liked was liver and onions. I know I don't like it for sure. Oh, well, hey, it's not for everybody. My daddy, when it come hog killing time, my daddy loved brains and eggs. Take pork brains and scramble eggs and cook them. And me and I should say my daddy and I would eat um, pork brains and eggs scrambled up. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what, Miss Evie, I should be liver and onions, Dean. That's liver and onions, and that's how they fixed it with gravy. I should have been Chinese. This thing, my internet, my internet is trying to reject me. Let me get back over here a little bit closer to the tower. Uh, I I love Mexican food and how life is so interesting, how it can take turns, and do things for you. I ended up meeting a beautiful Mexican woman. She was a part of a Latin band. Her and her three brothers played music all up and down the West Coast. They played in Reno, Las Vegas, the Latin, like the Miami Sound Machine. I love that music too. But I ended up, her and we cohabitated for a couple of years, and we went to Old Mexico. If you ever want to go to Mexico, take someone that can speak fluently Mexican. Spanish. Mexican is a derivative, a lot of slang, and a lot of regions speaks a little bit different Mexican. So, we went all over Mexico. I'm sure we bought things from the cartel. Anyhow, that was way back. That's a long time ago. Me and her, we lived together. What, 88 and 89, I believe it was. Yeah, 88 and 89. And could she ever cook? And I often thought, as much as I like Chinese food, I should go to Thailand, go over to, the place I have been looking at is Padawan. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Padawan, Padawan Beach. Oh, you can get a condo in Padawan for under $20,000. Oh yeah, a lot of cleaning on the cow. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something else that requires a lot of cleaning. Chicken gizzards. My folks are crazy about them old chicken gizzards, and a lot of work. My mother would clean and cleaning things, and it good, but a lot of work went into them. Um, Back in our days, everybody had to work in it. My mama, when I was born, I think Dave knows this story. When I was born, um, 1940, June the 30th, the biggest storm that came in. What had happened is an early hurricane came down off the coast and it stalled. And my daddy had a hard time getting to work, but he had to go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. Along about 5 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, old Mack showed up. And so my mama had her sister-in-law to cut the little umbilical cord and get me wrapped up in a little blanket and put me over there where that the factory, those wonderful devices that keeps a baby alive. I ain't gonna say it. Anyhow, so I laid up in there with my mama until about 10 o'clock in the morning. And my mother has to now go out and get the firewood up and get a fire going in the wash pot and wash the clothes in a wash pot because she had bloodied the sheets up and I was 9 pounds, 14 ounces. I was one big ass boy. But anyhow, it was a mess and she cleaned it all up and everything. Got back, got in bed. Well, Daddy didn't come home that night. He didn't come home the second night. He showed up on the third day. Could not get him back across the river. All the bridges washed out, and When he came, he brought the doctor, and the doctor came in and he went in and did his business. My daddy stayed out there on the front porch and smoked a cigarette and just thinking to himself, hell, I got another mouth to feed. And pretty soon the doctor came out to daddy and said, you got yourself a little boy in there, and I'm going to pronounce him a human. You can go in and take a look at the little critter. So daddy come in there, and I was I was over there doing what a baby should be doing, you know. So he finally pulled me loose over there and took a look at me, and he told, see, my daddy wanted to drive a truck, and he finally got the truck driving job, and it was the first truck he got to drive was a Mack truck. It had a bulldog on the hood. So he looked at my little old ugly swivel up face there, and it ain't changed much. Um, he said, hell, that thing's ugly. They look like a Mack bulldog. So my mama named me my middle name Mack, and when she was mad at me, she'd call me Mac. And but anyhow, um, times were different back in them days. Now my mother, you got to keep in mind, she had my brothers. One was a little older than me, 18 months older, and one that was a little older. I was the number three boy, and so she had to get up and cook, and had to go build a fire in the stove and do all that stuff. You know, that's just the way things was in 1940. Yeah, if you look right up here, let me whirl around over here. Look up there. There's my Wi-Fi antenna up there. You don't have much of a view, but there's the Wi-Fi antenna. And out here in the back, as you can look up in that tall, those are bamboo. They're 70 foot tall. My bamboo is 70 foot, 6 inches in diameter, 6 to 8 inches. And yeah, I live in the jungle. Yeah, I'm Jerry of the jungle. Anyhow, um, oh, you know what? I've been sitting here just talking away. Hell, I still got I still got some coffee in there. Yeah. Oh heck, there's a grasshopper in it. Ah, them's good. uh, I wish I could pour you a cup. I don't know if any of you ever got to see a rocket launch out of Cape Canaveral, and I still call it Cape Canaveral. They can call it Cape Kennedy and all that stuff they want to, but I'm the old guy. We go back with the rocket program back when we was testing the Saturn at Edwards Air Force Base. They have a hillside over there at Muroc. Boeing's testing facility was at Muroc, California. That's adjacent to. Oh, EB. You know what I'd like to have right now? I'd like to have a biscuit. Us Southern folks now, our biscuits are different than English biscuits. We have what they call a cat head biscuit. Dean knows what a cat head biscuit is if he went back to sleep. Cat head biscuit is a big biscuit, and I will take and break a big crowd. Oh, hey, Dean, I was talking about you there. Uh, one of the biggest businesses in America is donuts and coffee. Let, let me show you the liberties you can take. Hang on, let me set my cup down. I set my cup down. Let me see if you. I don't know how to. I don't know how to find it, but you're a polished professional person that runs and conducts a great site. People enjoy being there. They look forward to it. You just do a really terrific job. I wish you was rewarded. I wish YouTube would reward you to the extent of the amount of labor and love you put into what you do. You're a perfectionist. You can tell it. I used to have people in my staff, and I'd pick people just like you. Um, One time I had to do a project. It lasted for 7 years. That's how long it took us to build this thing called the BLT, Boeing Laser Tracker. And this guy that came and recruited me, he said, I want you to get some good people. And in my day, the kind of people I was looking for, damn, that was close. There's a wildcat back here somewhere. Uh, did y'all hear that thing scream? Hope it don't eat me. Uh, so I picked me a team and I interviewed them. They sent me the HR sent me the personnel files down, and I took them out to dinner and interviewed them. I got me two really great guys. I got a guy from Korea. He was an army major, and he worked for the U.S. Army as an interpreter. And I got him. His skills was mathematics. And then I got me a Vietnamese fellow, and his was computer science. And we had big corporations like Microsoft, which was just a brand new little bitty company. And we had a company, Honeywell. We had a company called Leica that provided optics for us, and we that team, 7 of us, we worked for 7 years and developed whatever engineer sent down to us. We perfected and worked on it and got it validated it to prove that the concept would work. And golly, um, having good people. Anybody can tell you if you're running any kind of organization, you got to have people. You got to have people that's willing to go the full mile with you, stick with you, stand by whatever decisions you make as a team, and implement decisions that came from higher ups. And all these guys I had on my team was like you there, Motorbomb, very, very professional, polished people, and they all brought something to the table. It was that it turned out to be very rewarding. In 1994, we received an engineering award for the BLT, the Boeing Laser Tracker, and that was a milestone in my life. I mean, my team done it. I mean, all of us together as a team. I was just the guy that organized them and brought down the stuff that engineering wanted implemented in development of this tool. And God, 7 of the greatest years of my life. Um, I had an unlimited budget. I could take people out, and we did a lot. We went out to eat a lot. Seattle, Washington has some of the best Chinese, Italian, Mexican, um, you name it. They had restaurants. I mean, my favorite place to take the team was, oh, here comes my cat. My favorite place, yeah, buddy, I see you. My favorite place to take the team was the Spaghetti Factory. Hey, little kitty cat. Let me let me see if y'all can see my little. Hey, buddy. Hey, hey, kit. Hey, come on over here to the camera and talk to it. It's slowly working its way over here. That's the panther. Uh, the spaghetti factory. Oh, I love that place. Um, we eat so much spaghetti. Hey, and look, I'm really pleased. We've got 6 people in here. Um, I didn't even think it would be more than maybe one. I knew Kimmy to Go was going to be in here because I had just texted her a few moments before I went live, and as you can see, daylight has arrived. Now let me see if we can get over this way where the yeah, you can't see because the lights up there. That's the floodlight. But everything else is starting to show up really good. All right. No, no, that little old girl that rides with me, that little old Angelique, my biking girl, she's laying in there asleep. She got up, and made me a cup of coffee. She's the sweetest little human being. Uh, and she pot of coffee in there, and she went right back to bed. She said, "What are you doing up?" I was up at 4 over there setting the thing up. I'm running Wi-Fi. Instead of using AT&T, I'm operating off a Wi-Fi, and the only way I can get the Wi-Fi is be out here by where the antennas are. And yeah, we're gonna go for a ride tomorrow. We're gonna do a video. We had a ride planned up, but it got rained out, and the group that can't go because it's Labor Day, a lot of them guys have canceled out. I get more cancellations. We do a lot of riding. A lot of people can't. Well, I know like Ray, he can do it. He could ride for a long time, and I know all you other fellows have a lot of stamina, but um, I do a lot of riding, and I ride every day. And, yeah, so far this year I've got 5,500 plus miles on it because last time I looked it was 5,580 this year. So um, yeah, I got to go back over to the Harley shop. A couple of things I want them to do. I think I'm gonna put new tires on it. The tread and everything looks good. Um, hell, you need to blow out a tire, you could kill yourself now. And you don't need to go. Oh, the cat almost came up in my lap. There, there goes the cat, Mr. Cat. He's out there doing his thing. He's out in the jungle. Look at him. He's heading towards the jungle. He's, uh, anyhow, all right, if you guys had enough, I'll see one's dropped out. They go, oh, hell, I can't take no more of this. Oh, um, I'm sorry it's one-way traffic. I appreciate y'all spending a little time with an old man. Each and every one of you, each and every one of you will reach this period in your life where you've seen a lot of things, and you want to share some of the things you guys see. Um, I'll tell one little story, and then I'll let you go. Uh, y'all might have heard when I talked when I was out riding about doing a lot of stuff with the rockets and stuff and missiles, and well, they sent me to Dobbins Air Force Base in Marietta, Georgia. I've spoken about this to you folks that follow me, and I got down there. And what they did is they sent me down. They had an emergency on the C5A. It's called the C5A Galaxy. Boy, it's not a cowboy story, Dave. I'm not going to tell you a cowboy story. Uh, anyhow, they sent me down there, and they had a problem that we had solved at the Boeing company. We built a huge freight liner, a big 747 liner, and we had solved this issue. uh, I've got cowboy stories. I still gotta tell you the story about when I lived in Grexton, Texas, about the ladies of the evening. I know you'd like that story. The ladies of the evening that was working the oil fields. We used to go down to Waco and Tyler and Kilgore, and we'd go in them old roadhouses, and we'd go in, and everybody be sitting around the table, be gambling. They would have a stack of money in front of them and a pistol laying on top of the money, and the girls are over there, and it was 75 cents to water with them. To dance, dance, no water. None of that stuff. Uh, oh, I'm gonna be. I won't say now those words. I promise you. I promise you. I won't talk naughty. But anyhow, so I get down to Marietta, Georgia, and they took us through of big main facility in Marietta. So when they brought us up, looking, I'm looking left for this world at that time, and I ain't seeing that thing nowhere. I'm looking straight ahead was a wall right in front of me. So I asked the crew chief there that took us in. I said, "Where's that big giant supposed to be?" And he pointed up, and I turned my head and looked up, and I was standing under the wing. The wing was way up there, and that thing to my left, which I thought was a silver looking wall, that's the side of the C5A. It was massive. I go, oh my God. Well, anyhow, I was down there for a little while. I only went down for 6 months. So somewhere around the fourth month, the crew chief said, Mack, go over there to the empennage. See, the C5A is built without its tail, and then they take the C5A over into a special building that's like 65 foot high. They back it in there and they put the tail on it. It's called the empennage building. And they told me to go over to the empennage building and see if they're going to be ready for the one C5A that we had ready to go out the door. Was they ready for it? Over there and got with the crew chief over there in the empennage. And while I was over there, I hear some voices. I hear some things. I hear all kinds of stuff over to my right. And so I kind of peeked through a little window over to the right, and there was two space cadets. They had astronauts, and they were walking out of a trailer, those aluminum, one of those really expensive trailers. And they come out of that thing, and they had a little briefcase, like a little backpack or a little thing that was holding it in their hands across their chest. And he walked right by the window. And the crew chief came over there, and I said, what is astronauts doing here? And as soon as they went out the door, I heard a jet engine start to spool up. And I never heard one like that ever. And it got louder and louder. And then next thing I know, I kind of stepped back and looked out the window, out the door, and I see this spaceship sitting out there. I mean, it is black. It's big. Two-man crew now. This is a pre-runner to the SR-71. I think it was called the A-12, but at the time it did not have a military designation. It was called later it became the SR-71 Blackbird, but that was many years later. This thing was top secret, and so the guys they took a thing and lifted them up. And they got in there, and they soon as they got in, they started the engines, and within a few minutes, they're out there on the runway. I said, I have never seen a checklist that quick before. I've watched a lot of airplanes get ready. They said, no, everything was already pre-flight. It was ready to go, and they don't fuel it to the very last minute because it leaks really, really bad. It's made out of titanium, and it leaks. So he said, they're fixing to take off. I said, I've never seen anything like this. He said, yeah, that's he was telling me the military designator for it, and he said that's highly classified. And man, that thing rolled down. Two big flame, big streaks of fire coming out of the back, and it had diamonds in it. Little what's called diamonds in the exhaust. And when he got his speed up, he pulled the nose straight up, and about 600 or 800 feet above the runway was cloud coverage. When he went up through the clouds, he lit all the night sky up. I mean, it was glowing up there. And I said, "Where's he going? Do you know?" He said, "He makes 2 flights a week over Cuba." And he said, when they leave out of here, they give them $1,500 and on the ground to be able to buy their way back to the coast. And anyhow, they they came back. I was we was rolling the C5A into the empennage when it come back in, and that thing was hot. I'm talking about. By this time, you could see when he rolled under the lights, heat was radiating off the body. They said that when he landed, temperature outside of the skin was 400 degrees. That's bacon temperature in an oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And they pulled it over and wrapped it in asbestos. They had two guys in a Dodge pickup truck, two different Dodge trucks, and they covered all the leading edges of the wings and covered everything that needed to be done. And they got them out of there. They took them back into the trailer and debriefed them and all that kind of stuff. It was just like something out of Buck Rogers' movie. I go, whoa! I can't believe what I'm seeing. And that crew chief said, "And you want to forget what you've been seeing?" And you notice I forgot it. Nobody even knows about that, right? You can go to any museum right now. Go to Huntsville, Alabama. They got a SR-71 sitting there. You go to Seattle Museum. They got one sitting hanging in the hangar. Uh, what part, Kimmy, did you like? What part did you like about the story about the? You're looking at a guy that really was there in the early days of testing stuff. I was the luckiest human being in the world. I don't know, most of the American guys, and I know Dave will know for sure, but I met General Dwight D. Eisenhower. He came to Alabama in 1952. He was running for president of the United States. And when he came down, yeah, the Area 51 stuff, yeah, I don't even have no clue what America has. And I wouldn't want to know. I'd want somebody to blow my brains out because I would not want to know. We got things that's just futuristic. Well, I mean, you can't go to the moon and back and do all the stuff and go to Mars and all that crap unless you got something going on. Uh, I noticed my time up there, 55 minutes and 59 seconds, now 56. Um, I promised a while ago if I told my little American Outlaw. Now, there's a guy right there. He came on last night. Man, if I met you in person, I would shake your hand. I would hug your neck. You are an American hero. You're a wounded American veteran. God bless you, man. I know you've had a heavy cross to bear. The American Outlaw, my hat's off to you. You're truly one of the finest. When I came up, I was born in what they call the silent generation, before World War II. And the best of the best went and fought that war. And the war that you fought and the stuff that you was involved in, uh, God bless you, man. Well, let me uh, let me sign off. I got one more little sup of coffee here. I said sup. See, in the South, your northern folks said, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, but southern folks would say, I'm going to take a sup of coffee, sup of coffee. We're just different. We love it that way. Uh, finish your coffee first, Mac. And well, I should have. I should have whistled. She's in there. She's laying right over there asleep. No, that little old girl, she worked so hard. Just a wonderful human being to have in your life. She's a dear little human being. Uh, I've got I've got a daughter that came down last year. Yeah, last year. She's older than her. Angelique's 40 years old. Will be soon to be 40. She had died. And Cindy is will be 49. And my little boy Donald that I talk about, he'll be 54 on the 13th of September. Oh, riding on Ruby, man! It's so glad to see you. Uh, you just meet some of the nicest people here at. I don't even know what time it is. Whatever it is, it's a good time. I'm not into time. Um, when I was with the company, they made me buy a watch. And I said, what do I need a watch for? He said, you're going to have to do time study. I go, what do you mean time study? He said, you're going to be having to work sequences that's going to require that you measure the amount of time. I go, oh. And as soon as I walked out that door, I've never put a watch back on my arm again, ever. Because I'm not into time. Look what time's done to me. Look at this. Look at this right here. 84 years old. I'm starting to get lines. The skin, look at it. Look at them old jowls starting to hang down. Look at that nose. See that? If you notice that nose leans over just a little bit right there. Look at that right there. That nose. oh, oh, there's a history. There's a story. I know, Dave. You remember I told you about whooping cowboys? Them cowboys can hurt you. They got them little old fists. Well, some of them got big fists. They're not all little bitty cowboys, but uh, I've had them to bang on. I got up high enough in the company, I was making some money. They said, Jerry, you would be a lot better human. Even nostril even malformed. I'm not, I'm not symmetrical. Uh, they said, one of my managers, what? And he said, I'm 84 years old, yes. Born June the 30th, 1940. And look, I'm starting to get a wrinkle. I think there's a wrinkle up there. Yeah, look right here. If you look right there, you can see it. There's a start of a wrinkle. And I got one right there. But anyhow, I went down and had my nose fixed. And so I went back after so many weeks and he started pulling that mile of rope out of my nose, leaning over to one side. yeah, so all that money. Um, let me speak to oh, hey, Lucky. If you sit around and whine about what's going to be and what's going to happen, and you wouldn't have no life at all. You just be all worried and everything. And I'm not into worrying. Let me tell you about the American Outlaw. American Outlaw was stationed up there at Fort Lewis, Washington from 95 to 98. I used to go and shoot with the boys. In fact, I shot with the boys from Fort Lewis when they came back from the first engagement with not Kuwait. No, it was Saudi. It was Iraq. When they came back from Iraq, we met in Arlington, Washington, not Washington D.C. Arlington, Washington, in the state of Washington, and we had 100 shooters, and they brought the best of the best from Fort Lewis. But see, they didn't know, they had never met me. I'm a good shooter. I mean, you got to have a little bit of an ego, you know. If you look, you guys go back and look at some of my shooting videos, over 150,000 views for shooting just a pistol or a rifle or something like that. But them boys showed up in Arlington, and some of them was like the Walking Dead. Man, they went through some stuff, and like a lot of the Vietnam guys, we used to shoot with them. The guys from Nam, uh, Boyne used to have this thing take a soldier fishing. And then once we'd take them, I had a 35-foot boat, and I'd take them out in the Puget Sound fishing, recreation for the soldiers back in combat. And so we would we'd go out there, and we'd be only fishing for 10 minutes, and they'd start talking about guns and weapons and all that kind of stuff. I was a gun nut. In fact, I probably could be committed. the, the guns is unbelievable. But next thing I know, they're all out at my house loading ammunition. They would bring all that. They had a lot of 308. I had a lot of 308 type stuff, and they would bring a lot of ammo brass out there, and we'd load hundreds and hundreds around. And I was a member of the Ravensdale Gun Club, and I'd take the soldiers. That's good. I mean, if your whole life revolved around a gun, you think, well, last thing you'd want to do is see another gun, but that's not true. Shoot empty brass to school, and so he showing his show and tell. That was his object, was that piece of brass. He said, "My daddy and a soldiers." Next thing you know, I get a call from the principal of the wilderness school that they went to. Oh, thank you, Dave. You're the kindest human being. You're one of the kind ones. He's he's in good hands with you and Dean and Miss EB and Kimmy to go and riding on Ruby, and you're in good hands. Anyhow, so the principal said, "Hey, your boy was telling you about loading so much ammunition." Well, up in Seattle, there was a subversive organization up there called the Weather Underground, and they were robbing banks and doing a lot of killing and stuff. They were paramilitary. They military trained, and they operated out of Montana. Anyhow, they thought maybe, they had discovered uh, a section of the Weather Underground group, and I assured him we was just avid shooters. Today now, I would have to go before some kind of tribunal, and they would interrogate me and all that kind of stuff. But I live in good old Alabama. Alabama, you can notice my buddy Joe when he comes over. Almost everybody. I saw a guy on Dean's group the other day, 9 mil, 9 mil on wheels, 9 millimeter, and almost everybody I know packs heat, because we live in violent times, and hell, you only get to get killed once, and then you don't have no more fun. I ain't gonna let that happen to old Mac, or you if you're with me. But anyhow, all right. So this has been an hour and 8 minutes, and I know you people got things to do, and you got to laugh. Cause I'm just one of them individuals that I'll just keep going on and on and on, and I'll wear everybody out, and they go, "I ain't never gonna go back over there. That old sucker talks too much." But the next time, oh, there we go, another little boy. Oh. When you're a Look, hey, you've got stories to tell. And you're, true to life things. I know there's some things that you suppressed. I do understand that, and sometimes it it came out. And, oh, it wasn't perfect. I wasn't a pretty human being to be around, but hey, I'm better now. I got cured. I'm not crazy. I'm just happy. Love each and every one of you. God bless you, and thank you very much for putting up with me. And you've been the bright spot in my day. Bye bye.